Okay, so welcome back to the tutorial. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to extend the range of the MLRS. So it's not simply a 203, but it's really got extended legs like you would have in a indirect fire system. So if you recall, this is our MLRS launcher, and this is our observer, and here is our target, TRP 101. So I go to the IWARS database up here, default IWARS database, hit the drop down, and I'll launch the database editor. And what we want to do is we want to make a copy of this database because we don't ever want to edit the real one. So I hit Save As, and I'm going to save it just to my desktop for now. And I'm just going to copy it. I'm just going to call it Steve D IWARS database. Steve's underscore IWARS database. Okay, so now I have a copy of the database. I'm ready to work. You can see here's the other one here, the default. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to weapons, our firearms. We're going to hit the M203. And we notice M203 has got some things here. This is where we start to edit the 203 to make it really like, an MLRS. Ideally, we would create a new firearm. So rather than operate off this one, we would copy this, make a new one. But for now, in the interest of time, I'm just going to modify this one. So there's not much here. The range 50, this is the range it says here, the range at which the weapon has approximately 50% chance of killing. So we're going to make this 22,000. And then under here you can see we have different munition types. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm working with HEDP right now. So the maximum range I'm going to put at 22,000. And there's a beta drag coefficient. So this is some of the places that you may want to manipulate based off of the particular projectile that you're studying and modeling. For now, I'm just going to make both of them 22,000 and leave the muzzle velocity the same. And I'm going to go ahead and hit File, Close. So now both my weapon systems for the 203, both the munition types, have been extended. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and hit Yes, change it. I'm going to put a description in here. Change 203 ammo to reflect MLRS. And then I go ahead and go back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my MLRS and start to move them about the battlefield so that they're a long ways away from the observer. Just do a test here. So move them way down here in this corner, which is more like what you would see with an artillery system, I suspect. And then I'm going to go ahead and save my scenario, and I'm going to run it. I'm going to jump over to my observer and switch to 3D view and watch my palm tree. And there's the palm tree. So that was an extremely long shot. You can see this is my launcher way back here. So the launcher is, you can't even see the action is way over here. So you can see the launcher is clearly a long ways away. So I suspect this is going to be more like what you're going to want to do with your MLRS or your railgun, is take that 203. But again, going back into your IWARS database, what I would do is rather than messing with this 203, I would make another weapon that looks exactly like the 203 that uses munitions, and I would copy the munitions. So make, instead of M406, this is going to be your railgun projectile. Instead of M43, this is going to be whatever. So you would copy these and use them, and we'll talk about that in a later tutorial. But for now, you could just kind of reuse the 203 and start messing with its default parameters, as I've done here, and go from there.